Here's an early version of Photoshop, featuring a now headless man sticking his tongue out. This is inventor Fred J. Snyder wearing a device to invert his vision, and, unsurprisingly, having a difficult time adjusting to it. Here's an extremely focused nun, Sister Mary Ellen, about to bowl a strike. Here's a bunch of dudes wearing missile cones on their heads. Here's a very relaxing scene of two people enjoying lunch, while a cowboy on a massive steer jumps right over them. Here's a sheep and a goose sharing an elevator together at New York's Waldorf Astoria Hotel. Here's golfer Joe Kirkwood hitting a golf ball out of his caddy's mouth. Here are a bunch of workers at an orchard, showing us how safe and relaxing that type of work was back in the day. Here's a Dutch man straddling a model village and looking like a giant. Here's a woman with a huge donut and a tiny cup of coffee. And here's a whole bunch of nuns shooting hoops. This is the beginning of the world's strangest race, featuring a runner, a man with a dog, a bike, a motorcycle, and a couple of cars. Here's a young couple riding a penny farthing underwater. This is Duke, the saxophone-playing tiger. These are two astronauts demonstrating the versatility of NASA's new spacesuit, which the astronauts flying in Project Mercury would eventually wear. Here's Babe Ruth himself swinging a bat while dressed as an admiral. Here's a whole bunch of water skiers wishing you a happy new year in 1970. This is Sister Euphemia having an absolute blast on a rocket ship ride at Disneyland. Here's another high-flying daredevil demonstrating proper plane flying protocol. Here's Sister Magdalene about to absolutely tear the stitches off the ball. As you can plainly see, this is your typical goat pushing a typical stroller full of dogs. Here's a picture of a bunch of soldiers with comically oversized jumbo weapons, practicing how to use them. This is, evidently, the monkey chief of police gazing on in his official duties. Here are three guys wearing three barrels as they gallivant through the countryside in 1910. Speaking of threes, here are three men drinking three margaritas under a large portrait of an even bigger margaritas. This is apparently a hypnotized woman suspended between two chairs, looking quite comfortable. And finally, here's a man and a kangaroo going jump for jump on a trampoline.